got a Klingbeil strong base. You see it's just got 4 very large prongs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit it with the heat gun a little bit. Try not to destroy the base. And you can tell the front and the back, there's the prongs here are front, they're much shorter. Okay, I think that's plenty of heat for them. It's funny, the whole base gets flexible when it's under the heat gun like that. And again, these you don't have to be so gentle on the tweaking. That's what I like about these. It's hard to really botch it up from over squeezing. Not to say that you can't. I mean, I've had some of these that look like they just turned into cellophane from squeezing a little too hard. Especially when you get a pair of pliers like this where all of the energy is focused on a very narrow spot. You know, if I were to squash this, it'd be like a racing stripe down the middle. I'm not going to use these at all on this base. Yeah, on the Klingbeil Strongs, I only use the wide pliers. If your pliers are not as thick as the prong, don't bother. Let's see how these prongs angle. Not bad. I really like these bases. It's a great design, very simple. And that should dispel the myth that the wide bases are only for strength. I mean, that's pretty good right out of the box. Just a little tweak here. Let me hit it up with a lighter there. All right, when he bounces up like that, that means you're starting to lose your angle of your prongs. In other words, if the prongs go straight up and down, he's just going to dance like a jumping bean or something. So just make sure I got a little bit of an angle on these guys. You see how flexible the base is with all that heat. It's just tweaking, it comes off the figure. Alright, I wonder if a little weight would do this guy good here. Take my weight here and I'm going to put it, actually it's a little towards the front here as well, because I'm thinking that might be where to put it. So here you go, I've got on the sides to add some stability. Yeah, I like the way this guy moves. Nice and smooth. Alright, so let's see how he matches up against an Invisibase. Again, I've loaded this guy up to almost 4 grams. Let's see how he does against the weighted Invisibase. Alright, he's weaker. Not much weaker, but he's weaker. Alrighty, so let me keep tweaking. Again, once you tweak a base, you kind of have to keep going back to it for, you know, a day or 2 or even 3. I'd go back, you know, a couple different sessions. But when you're retweaking, you don't go crazy with the pressing. You know, you don't press nearly as well. I'm still pressing hard. I'm not pressing, you know, all out kind of hard like I was doing before. All right, let's see how that worked. He's doing pretty well against this other Invisibase here. Now if you want to go for strength, I mean, if you want to turn this guy into a brick where he can't be moved back so easily, well, I mean, he's doing okay there, but if we put him up against a much stronger figure, he's going to actually didn't do too badly. I mean, this guy's a bit of a beast. You know, even though this guy moves pretty well, I'm going to see if I sacrifice that by grabbing these prongs here, grabbing the prongs right at the tip with these, squeezing and rolling. What it does, it kind of distorts the bottom. And let me see, I'll grab it even here this way and roll it. Just puts a hook on the bottom of it. I mean, first of all, this flattens out the last 1/8 of an inch or so. Just really flattens it out. The bass looks ugly when you do this, but let's see how he moves. I mean, that kills the movement, but let's see what it did for strength. Now, if I could match this guy, then that would be real tough. All right, let me try to curl the fronts a little bit. This is harder because there's not as much bass prong to latch onto. Okay, I'm going to give this guy a bit of a curl here. Hopefully we'll be strong. So here's the movement. That's surprisingly good for a bass that's got as strong. That was interesting. I think all it did was slow him down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to recover it. So to get the curls, I'm just going to try to go on the end. It'll curl up very fast because it's so paper thin. When you grab it with the very thin pliers, it just makes it so thin. So you don't want to get the heat too close to that. So let's see. Okay, this one needs a little bit of. There we go. And it's common to go through this with basses. You try to make it fast, you decide you're going to try to go the other way, come back and compromise. So let's see how that guy looks now. Alright, so he's got a lot of his speed back here. I like that. Let's see if he's still able to beat the weighted Invis bass. Yeah, not bad. He's not bad. I mean, he's certainly he's not going to be my new center, but not too shabby.